Hey everyone. It's a little bit late tonight, and sorry I didn't put in a notification earlier. I'll get better at that. I've been just sort of slowly getting back into things. So I had so much fun today. Played like a 4.5 hour awesome game of chess match, or was so good. So it's on the stream there. It was so fun, and we were all helping each other. We had like I was playing against Basic Glitch, and she won, by the way, which was fun. Like, it was a really good match, and like I hadn't played chess for a couple of years, and especially one like that where it went for as long as it went. Like, we played for 4.5 hours, and it was just so much fun. And there are a few people there that wanted to know the rules, so we were going through the rules as we were playing it. And we had Eric was there. Like, he was good. He helped advise, and especially with the rules and stuff that I'd forgotten a few things. So it was awesome. I want to do it again. So like maybe every so often, once a week, once every few weeks. And maybe we can even just, anyone who wants to have these matches, like, I don't have to play each match. I can actually sit back and move the pieces, although it really does work properly if you've got the camera angle. So if you had two people that weren't there and you only had the one camera angle, like, it wouldn't work. I mean, that's where video games actually probably work better, but it was just so much fun. Just such an awesome day. Like, and then had an awesome chat with a good friend just before. I think what's really helped me through this week is good conversations with friends. Has really, got me through in a really positive way. Awesome. Happy Hermit's here. Happy was there during the chess match today. It was awesome. Hey, thanks for being there, mate. It was really good. Awesome to see you here, mate. So good. Like, just this connection with people, like, it just puts a smile on my face. And it's, I get sore cheeks from smiling, which is great. When that happens, it's a good sign. Yeah, awesome. Happy Homer says it was fun. He says I fell asleep. Lol. Well, it was getting into the evening. It was getting late. It's pretty late now, mate. So you must have had a sleep and woke up. That's the thing about these streams when I start this time of night. Like, it does make it in the middle of the night for the US. So, I appreciate being here. So, yeah, like, when you have a really nourishing day that is just like you felt good and happy, you've done these things that have sort of, you didn't expect to. Like, well, I sort of knew last week when I made the challenge, we should play a game of chess, and like we sort of lined it up with Basic Glitch, and I didn't actually get in contact with her until like late last night, and so that only gave her a couple of hours to be ready, and she was ready by then. And it got really late for her because by the time we finished the chess match, it was like this time of night as it is in America. So, it was really good effort by everyone. Like, we all enjoyed it. So Happy Hermit says, yeah, my neighbor came over drunk wanting to hang out and woke me up. Classic. You got a neighbor that wakes you up in the middle of the night when they're drunk. That's classic. That can be good and bad. Just depends on how, like, whether you're happy to be woken up at that time. But that's cool. It's good. You got a good relationship with your neighbors. Cage Pass is here. Awesome, Cage. Cage was there too. Um, it was such a fun day. Like, definitely got to do it again. Yeah, Cage Passer says I accidentally fell asleep in the chat all the time. uh, but you look, um, I take that as a compliment. People feel comfortable and relaxed. That's the best thing. I love it. So, and I yeah, I take that as awesome. It's if I'm a relaxing element, and if you know, um, it's good. So I'm still smiling from all the awesomeness the chat just had before, and chess match earlier, and you know it's good. And also, like, it has been a productive week. So what I put in the description, or the title, sorry, and the description, it was like, so last Sunday I talked about really trying to actually make progress and achieve as much as I can, but in a gradual, um, sustainable way that is, um, you know, enables me to keep going with it. And I had a really good start to the week, and I didn't. So I have all these different things that I want to do over 100 days or 3 and a bit months, and I think I made a good start to it. Happy Homer says, "You look like a lumberjack tonight." Yeah, totally. I got my khaki. We call it khaki in Australia. It's like I call these Steve Irwin shirts. It reminds me of Steve Irwin. And funny story, because I put on so much weight, I'm down to like 3 shirts I can wear, which is actually part of the. But yeah, no, I look like a lumberjack all the time. I've got all these check shirts, and like they look like um, you would have seen them in earlier streams. I used to wear them all the time, and so yeah, that's it. I got I got I got I should bust out there. I got axes and stuff. I could make it fully legit. That would be funny. I could set up a corner of the room to make it look like it's my lumberjack area. Chainsaws and log splitters and all that stuff. Hand saws, wedges. I do have all the gear, because I actually, when I was handyman for a while, I did tree pruning and stuff, and um, yeah, I learned how to, um, up to a safe thing. I never did big stuff, but you know, um, I learned watching experts on YouTube taught me so much. Whether it's everything, you know, sharpening a chainsaw, um, servicing a chainsaw, how to safely cut, as well as also for the tree, so you don't damage the tree. All that stuff. It's amazing what you can learn, just by listening to people, watching them, and them really taking the time to share their knowledge with someone else. Um, it's amazing. So yeah, I love that. I look like a lumberjack. That's cool. It's and I think I'm letting my beard grow a bit longer, so it's even going to get more wild. So yeah, part of that, talking about the weight thing, I had put on so much weight in the last, year and a bit, but especially it just piled on, to, and it just, I mean, it was a slow, gradual thing, but it's now at a point where I've sort of stopped it, and I've got to slowly uh, lose some of that weight. I'm happy. I don't mind being, how I am. I know I need to lose a bit, especially around the belly. It's not good, So, it's better for overall health. So I'd given myself a challenge to do reading, so get back into reading, communication, get around to finally answering emails that I haven't done for 2 months, because I've been so I've felt like I've been unable to do much. And then so reading, communication, social interaction, and this is included, so getting back to more regular streams. What's on the list? I got, emails. Oh, reps. So doing exercise. So not just going for walks or doing staff practice, and sometimes doing stuff like doing work in the garden here will be exercise as well as doing stuff contributing, for the house. So, but yeah, doing reps, which haven't started yet. So it's going to start next week, which is like sit-ups and push-ups. And I'm going to build up. So I think it'll take me 2 months before I can really start doing chin-ups, because got too much weight. I can't even do one chin-up, which is understandable. It takes a lot, and I've lost a lot of strength. So Cage Pastor says, what does the 100th day look like? It looks like a very happy me, and I'm happy already. So I don't know. Saying that, obviously it has been. I did look in the last few weeks. I have had some serious sort of triggering times where I've been upset and stuff like that. But I've managed to turn that around, and a lot of that has been to do with connection with friends here, especially through the support network that we've created together, and that, I want to try and keep that contact going, because I know how much it helps me, and people tell me how much it helps them, and people, if you ever want to reach out, like, I know that I haven't responded to emails for like 2 months, but I'm getting back to it. So if you ever want to send an email, I'll get around, and I'll actually respond much quicker, hopefully within a few days, compared to what I have been. So Happy Hermit says, do you ever feel like we humans could benefit from hibernating a few months out of the year? That's a really good question. I mean, no work, no stress, just kind of surviving. Absolutely, mate. That is such an awesome, awesome idea, and why not? We should do that. And look, at several times in my life, I've tried to actually create a seasonal work environment. So I've wanted to work, get jobs working in like music festivals, arts festivals, and then work for 6 months of the year, work really hard, enjoy the time, and then have 6 months off, or even 3 months. And it didn't work for me. It's very difficult to actually break into that thing as a career. I mean, anyone can do it if you really push and apply yourself to it. Like, so, it is difficult, but I never achieved that. But I think you've got a really good concept there, And Cage Pastor says, I'd Stelly for a 3-day weekend at this point. Exactly. Yeah, that's it. 3-day weekend. Like, you can achieve, in most jobs, you can get most of your work done, you know, in 4 days instead of 5. And that people who I know who have been able to get that 4-day work week or 3-day weekend, they've had a really good quality of life. Just that extra day doesn't always mean you're going to get paid much less too if you're working at the right place. So yeah, Cage Pastor says absolutely yes. It's settle. Oh, that's what you meant to say, settle. I read it wrong. Because you know what a stelly is? That's like that's what I don't know. It's like a stone, um, a big stone relief carved monument rock, sort of like the Rosetta Stone, but outside in front of the Sphinx is a stele, which is, I forget what it's called, but it's a famous stele. But yeah, that's why I read it and I thought of that. And I think yeah, there's one in Bolivia as well. Tiwanaku, Pumapunku. I always get those two mixed up because they're right next to each other. So many ancient archaeological sites. The more places you put in, you're going to forget the names. But yeah, I should know which one's which, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I just need to get back to that. That was one of my passions, and is ancient archaeology and stone, or just the ancient building methods and ancient civilizations. So, but getting back to the thing too, I think that's a great idea. And there's so many jobs that can be seasonal, and like even like food growing, like working in farms, working during the growing season and the harvest season, and then you're on holidays for months. And it works out so well in a lot of places. In some places the growing season's during the summer, but often the harvest is at the end of the summer. And so you might get time off during the hottest time of the year. Builders that are in a good position, like carpenters, that they make enough money with their work, they can actually take time off in summer and not work during the hottest time of year, and just stay. So it's not necessarily hibernating through the cold. It's especially in a place like here in Australia where it gets really, really hot working outside. You wouldn't want to be up on a roof putting a new roof on it in summer. So, but it should be, it should be something we keep talking about and maybe try and make it more of a thing. Whether it is 3-day weekend or whether it's taking a couple of months off, and you hear about people that live in other countries in the world where they get to do this seasonal work, and then in their off time they go fishing. They get into the arts and the things that they like, making things, or that gives them their time. That time off gives them time to build a shed out the back of the house, or build a veggie garden in their property, or do things that they'd have no chance of doing, if they're working every week, sort of thing, or that sort of regularity that prevents that stuff. And not just that, reading and educating yourself. It's really difficult to try and work and study. I wanted to get into engineering a long time ago, and I just couldn't do the maths. I did learn some of it, you know. But then it was just too much for me to try and get to that level to get to university, because I had it in my head that I had to get to university to be successful with this. And then it wasn't for me. I couldn't make it. I wasn't good enough at the maths. And I could have been a generalist and still become, do the electromechanical engineering and, you know, design things, but not be the guy that does the mathematics. Just be the guy who does the drawings and comes up with the ideas and puts it together with the tools. But work with a team where there's experts that and but it didn't work out. And I was working at the time, so I was trying to work, even though that work was part-time. The study that I had to do was just too much, and that was a great thing. I worked on this farm for 2.5 years, I think it was around that, 2 years, 2.5 years. It was 2 to 4 days a week. It was the best. So I'd go away, live on this farm, do a couple of days work, up to 4 days, come home. If it rained and I had to stay an extra day, it didn't bother me because I had time off, and it was a really good life for a while, as far as it really suited me to just have that decent amount of time off. And it also meant that I could work really hard and get exhausted and then have a day rest and then still have 3 or 4 days off, for the rest of the week, which was great. So good. Happy Hermit says, I guess we kind of call them retreats. I think that's the closest we have to hibernation. Yeah, true. There is those. They can really be, but they're not long enough, are they? Those ones. You only get like a month or 2 months, or even a few weeks or a week even. But that can be enough for some people. But look, yeah, I like what you're saying is having an extended amount of time, and it doesn't mean you're not doing nothing. You're focusing on things that you don't get around to doing otherwise, and things like that. That's why I think so many people have got this. I've got it. I've got boxes full of things, and I've just gone through clearing my room. But I've always had this. I've been buying, plastic boxes and sorting my belongings and keeping them, in boxes, and every few years, I'll have to go through everything, and having that. I mean, I have that opportunity at the moment for now until I get back to work, but I don't know when that's going to be, and even in that capacity, I'm trying to create a job where I can work part-time anyway, and so make it suit me so that I, especially needing that time, and also when I have, like trauma triggers that I can't avoid and then need time off, so I think that's a really important thing for more and more people to be able to access that as work options. So Cage Pastor says, hey, Happy, how's your week gone? That's nice. So yeah, I hope you've had a good week, Happy, and you too, Caged. So I'll go back to my week, actually, speaking about the week that's gone. So I did reading, and I started reading. I read a short story, and then I read some articles, just general reading that everyone does with the internet. But when you read something that's decent, that was enough to count as reading. But the goal is to build up my reading so that after 100 days, I'm reading about 70 pages a day, and then that 50 to 70 pages. So that means I get through 1 or 2 books a week. which is awesome, which is what my goal is. And I'm going to build up slowly. So, you know, this first week, I didn't try and do everything. So I did exercise, I did staff practice 3 times, I think. Yeah, twice here and then once up the mountain. And what happened was I went for a walk and I had my staff with me, and I saw a big branch across the path, and I'm like, oh, that, because it had been there the last couple of times I'd gone up there, and I was like, I've got to finally move this off the path. It's annoying me, and it's better for everyone to have it, off to the side, because it had a big branch that had fallen down, and I threw my staff on the ground and then picked up this branch and like ran off with it like a lumberjack. And I grabbed, like, with the branch under my arm, and I could have had it just under one arm and still had my staff. But what I did was I dropped my staff on the ground and I rushed. I was wearing shoes. I didn't pay attention though, and like I knew there was a big water ditch there. It was like 2 foot wide and about a foot and a half deep. And you know how it keeps stepping down when you get water runoff, where it pools and it drops down, like it keeps going like that, like a stream, and except a dried up one. So it was dry. There was no mud in there, but I didn't see the drop off, and so I stepped down into it, with all my weight, and I'm 20 kilos heavier. I'm more than 20. I'm 25 kilos heavier than I was a year, just 12 months ago. No, longer than that now. Time flies, yeah, longer than that. 18 months it was when I was that much lighter. So that's how much I've put on in that time. So I want to try and take all that weight off in shorter time than 18 months. So, which is going to be, it's difficult to do that, but if I work at it, so eating healthy will be the thing, and that's part of the 100-day challenge thing. So I stepped into this ditch and I twisted my ankle really bad, and I'm not wearing the bandage now, but like I've needed to wear a bandage since I've had it. But I can walk again now, which is good, without too much pain, and even sort of getting up. But if I sort of accidentally move my ankle the slightest in the wrong direction, it's intense pain. So I really did, and it's got a bit of bruising still. It's like I learned a good lesson with that. Don't rush. That's why I carry a walking stick when I go in the bush. So I can take my time and be careful and then traverse rough terrain without twisting my ankle. So what do? I blindly just drop what sorry to use that word. It's a bad word to use. I just dropped my staff on the ground and I rushed. I jumped into this thing, and I paid for it. It was a really bad. It could have. I thought my foot was broken for the first 12 hours. I was really relieved the next morning when I was like, no, my foot's not broken because I can stand on it now. But you know what I did? After I twisted it, I walked up the top of the hill through the pain, and it is good to keep it moving if you can. This is not full advice for anyone. Do. Some people say it's good to do. Some people say don't. But it can be, if it's not a major sprain, to actually keep it moving, and it can help the healing because you're not, you're I don't know. Some experts would probably say that's the worst thing you could do. But look, what happens when you sprain your ankle out in the bush and you got no choice? You have to keep moving. So like, I don't know. I've sprained my ankle so many times skateboarding growing up. They're like jelly. They overextend, so I'll twist my ankle easily, but I won't I won't tear ligaments and stuff like that. It's like my ankle can fully give way and then come back again, and it'll hurt and it'll bruise and all that, but it heals within a week, sort of thing. And that's what happened here. So I'm really lucky. But I went up to the top of the hill. I did staff practice for like half an hour until I got a full sweat up. And that's what I've been trying to do here as well. Just practice the staff, swing it around, until I get a sweat up. And then I go for another couple minutes. And then I'm like, that's good. I've done some exercise. And yeah, I did that, watched the sunset, sat on a log, watched the sunset, and then came home. And then the pain just kicked in. So, that's what I've been sort of dealing with since then. So for the last 3 days. That was the worst of it. And then, so yeah, I've sort of been doing a bit of everything, the eating healthy. I'd cooked a meal for friends and they came over, and then we had dinner here, which was great. I got to make the whole meal, made pizzas from scratch, made the dough, something I used to love making. So I'm trying to reconnect with food. So I made a big salad, made pizza, made the sauce for the pizza. It was awesome. And then I had leftovers for like 2 days. So I didn't have to cook for 2 days because I had there was literally a whole pizza left over because it was so filling. And then, other social contact was like chatting with friends through the support group that we created, that we keep in contact, and that's been really good. I kept up. I did NVC session with a friend, and we're going through the book chapter by chapter, and that's really good to read, like, because I did that short course in it last year, and it's really good to keep momentum with that. And I look forward to going through the whole book again, and really understanding and being able to use it on a more solid level. So, all of these things. What else was on the list? Yeah, the one thing I didn't get done was the emails. Is go through my emails and respond to everyone. And that's what I guess tomorrow. I'm finally at the point where I can do that tomorrow. So, Happy says, I'd like to say, Gimmet went well, but I didn't want to lie. I've been pretty sick the last week and a half, and finally feeling better. Oh yeah, I'm really sorry that you've been going through that, man. Yeah, it's good that you're feeling a bit better now, though. Like, but still, it's rough when that's especially when it's like a week and a half, and you've opened up here on the chat about you having these difficulties with that, and so it's good that obviously you get a lot of good quality time, but it's really unfortunate when you have these things still persist, and but yeah, Happy continues. Yeah, finally slept a full night last night. Still feel catching up. Yeah, it's good when you finally get that full night's sleep after not getting any for a long time. I yeah, I'm appreciating my sleep patterns finally getting a bit better. It's still not that good, but it's a relief to be able to wake up early. Like that's one thing I got through last week, was to be able to get up early. I think 3 days, which was a big success. Cage Pastor says to Happy, I'm wishing you on the up and up. Are you okay? Cage says, sleep is important. Glad you claimed it last night. Happy says, I'm also glad I can finally trust my farts again. I mean, I was sick, like exorcist sick. Ugh. Yeah, wow. That's rough when that's that, because that's really rough, because you drain, like your body gets drained and then everything gets out of whack. So yeah, hopefully, like um yeah, like what Cage Pastor was saying. Yeah, I hope it's good now, and it sounds like it's on the mend. And exorcist level sick, that's full on. It's pretty bad when you're saying it like that. It's not nice at all. And then, like I was saying, and it. You've got, once you actually start feeling a bit better, you still have to deal with the fact that your body's just completely drained. Cage Pastor says, pea soup. Oh yes, yes. That's yeah. When it's like that, it's not good. So drink lots of fluids is a good thing. So when your drunk neighbor comes over, try not to have a drink with him because that's probably not going to help. Yeah, yeah. It's good that you're on the mend. And so yeah, like overall this first week, just finishing up with oh no, I'll continue here. Happy says I lost 11 pounds. Yeah, so there's that. Feels good. I finally caught up on chores and stuff today, since it just me and my pup. Yeah, that's that. Well, that's the other thing. If you're living alone and you're also, you're looking after your dog as well, so that's a lot of work. You know, so yeah, you get behind on stuff when you're looking after yourself, and you get sick like that. Then on top of having to recover, you have to catch up on all the stuff you didn't get done. So it's good that, again, that you got that. And Happy says, "Lol, caged." That's it. The old pea soup. It's like, yeah, it's not good. Um, and yeah, losing all that weight, it's not good. So, um, like, yeah, I mean, a good thing is, if like when you're really not well, and then you start getting better, like your body craves certain food. Like, listen to your body. It might feel like, oh, I just need like a salad, or if you eat meat, I need like a steak, something like that. You listen to your body. Sometimes it's like, oh, I need some fries or something like that, some salty, oily food or something. Like your body might be needing salt. So I don't know. It is good to like just go with it, you know, and yeah, it's not easy. Um, that stuff. Um, just trying to think what else. Like, it was pretty much. I'm happy with how I sort of made the first week of this sort of challenge, and then, oh yeah, I had psychologist appointment as well, which went pretty good. Um, and then Happy Hermit says, yeah, it's funny you say that, because today I was craving fish, so I ordered from the local seafood restaurant. Yeah, see, exactly. And so fish has got all those. It's got the salt, it's got the oil, but it's also got all the good omega 3s, and the fish have got all this really good nutrients. So like that's exactly it. Your body's just what do I feel like right now, and you're just like, oh, that's what it's amazing how like it works like that, and it's a big learning. Well, not just necessarily learning, but just being just taking that time to listen to your body and ask it questions is a really powerful thing, for healing and nourishing, you know. Um, so Case Pastor says losing weight is good if you like. Just remember to take your vitamins. Yes, true. That's what you deplete all those things, and it's difficult to you have to get that stuff back, so it's been good. I've got like the water filter, and that's got me back drinking water again. And I think back, and there was quite a long period of time there where I just wasn't drinking water on its own. It just became a habit, and it took a while to actually start that habit again. You know what I mean? And you forget. Well, I forget how much it helps, and that again, my stomach issues were made worse from me not drinking water. And so when I was having the wrong food, and like when I was having instant coffee and alcohol, it was just making it worse. And those things are all things that take your fluids away. I mean, don't get me wrong, they all contain liquid, so like you are still getting water intake, but your body does need more, especially if it needs to balance out. And I feel so much better since I started regularly drinking, a liter, at least 2 liters a day. It doesn't have to be, unless you're working out in the sun, you don't need to drink like 4 liters of water a day. So again, when I say this stuff, I'm not an expert. It's just, that it's just how it works for me. So, and there's some experts say, oh, we need to drink so much water, and then you get other experts say, no, actually, the body gets enough water if you eat, vegetables and salads. There's water in all that food, and if you drink tea, you drink a couple of cups of tea a day, that's all water. And it's only when you sort of go past that and it starts to become a thing. And it's such a habit that we forget. Like, well, I forget about. Like, I have to remind myself to drink water. So Happy Hermit says, yeah, I'm good about taking my vitamins, but had to pause them because I was vomiting so much and they burned worse coming up, so it hurt my stomach. I was a mess. Yeah, that's sorry to hear that. That's an even worse effect of that. So you must be relieved to have got it stable again. Oh, awesome. MJG's here. So awesome you could be here, MJG. And MJG says, hi, Luke. Happy Pastor. With the hands waving in the heart. Love it. Happy's got the waving hand back. Cage Pastor's got the heart. Ouch, Happy. Yeah. That's it. And MJG's got the waving hands. Cage Pastor says, hi, MJG, with the heart. It's awesome. So hopefully, I don't know if I got one of MJG's artworks, and I had something I did. I had fun with the kaleidoscope this week. I had one of these old kaleidoscopes, and it's just a cheap plastic one. And I made some kaleidoscopes once where I cut up the glass mirror and I glued it all together. But this is one with a lens, like a fly's eye type lens, and I got tape on there, and I just stuck it to my phone, and I took a photo of the painting I got at MJG's, and it looks really cool because there's heaps of them in the center. That was fun, and I've got to keep doing that, having fun exploration of things, and even if I'm not making art at the moment, doing drawing or making stuff with timber or sculpting or anything like that, at least I'm doing something which is giving me that creative, and it was so much fun, and it's got me thinking of doing more of this, because it's really cool just sticking it to your phone camera and getting some cool effects from it. I just reminded me of that when I saw MJG. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, that's another thing I did last week. So Happy Hermit says, did you ever find out how Australiana handled the storm? No, I haven't heard from her, and I have been thinking about her and been worried. I do know that they were meant to get hit really bad there, and really luckily just the way the cyclone worked is it came down and then came back up, and then it came across, and I think it was worn out, but it's still, look, I don't know, I know that they did get a lot of flooding there, and maybe she did get some bad flooding, and that might be why. I'll try and reach out to her, and because I don't have her email, but I could I could write a message through here that she gets a notification to check out, and maybe she'll respond. So, but I think we've all been thinking about her as well, because she was in the path of it, and I was just so lucky here. There was along the base of this wall here, there was water came in, and across the roof, and that's all I got here. I was so lucky, and again, it gave me the it made it all for the whole clear up and clean in my room, which was, yeah. So, but enough about me. I'm thinking about Australiana. I'll try and get in contact with her, because yeah, it's pretty devastating, and those floods, they just kept going, and they kept going west. The week after the cyclone, so it's still flooding in Western Queensland, because when it floods that bad, it takes weeks and weeks for the water to actually, because it's so flat, the water just travels slow. Awesome. MJG says, yes, I see my art in that photo with the smiling face. Yeah, it was special. So yeah, I'm glad you saw it. Like it. That's awesome. Cage Pastor says, was she on the coast? Yes, yep. So right in the path of it too. So, but like I said, because the cyclone traveled down and then went up between the islands, and then it did that, and then so my thoughts was that it had worn out a lot of the flooding problems that could have happened, and so I've just been hopeful that she's all right. So, and I was worried that she didn't get in contact, so I sort of, maybe I do sort of feel a little bit guilty for not reaching out. So you know what, I'll make an effort to. I don't have my pen. I could put it on the board, but I'll remember that. I'll send a message, and hopefully she gets it to see that we're all thinking of her and we all hope that she's good. Yeah. And Mama Bear was also in the path of the cyclone, and again she was further inland, so hopefully she got through it all right. Like, I haven't heard from her either, so I'm like worried about both of them really. But I am hopeful that it seemed all right. We're all so lucky that that cyclone just wore out and just became. But you know what? Yeah, it still caused a lot of damage. It's amazing the power of nature with that sort of stuff. So I'm excited with what I was able to achieve last week as starting, and hopefully next week's just a slight increase, a little bit more, and also introducing more effort on the communication and doing the paperwork and things that I've been neglecting. So that'll be the next thing. Oh, I had the funniest thing. So I bought this seedling light box that's just big enough to get seedlings raised, and I was gonna put them, I've got basil and parsley and spinach, and I'm gonna put them in the backyard in this sort of it's not a full greenhouse, but it's enclosed enough. It's enclosed on three sides, and I can enclose a fourth side to keep the turkeys and the possums out. And we also have these beautiful native mice, and you hear them at night talking to each other. They got the cutest squeaky voice, and these native mice are awesome. They live in the bush, but they love eating parsley and they love eating carrots and everything like that. So I need to sort of make this secure enough to keep them from getting to the food as well. So I bought this seedling thing. So it's got a light, and I've got it in the other room. And I'm sitting here the other night, and I hear this tap 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 tap, and I look over, and the possum's walking into my bedroom, and I look at it, and I just go like that, and I go, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And he just sort of looked at me and just sort of went, "Oh, this is not. I'm not meant to be here." And it just sort of went, "Oh, okay." And then it turned around, and instead of just walking straight out, because it could smell the parsley, they've got such a strong sense of smell, and they'll eat everything. They'll eat it right to the ground, and it's no good. And then it's so it veered off and went towards the light, and it was about to go and eat the parsley and the basil and stuff. And I was like, "Oi, what are you doing?" and stuff. And it just "Hey," and it just ran off. So it was pretty funny. Yeah, MJG says lol. It was so funny. It was just so cute too, the way because possums often, when they have this sort of scamper when they walk, they sort of back legs hop a bit. But this was doing a trot. It was sort of trotting, so it just looked really calm and just cool, just cruising along. Because I just hear, I'm like, "What's that?" It's "Oh, the possum's in here. It's in my room." It was right there. I could have. I was looking for the camera to get a photo of it. And it was funny, but you know what it means? It means that I can't just leave my door open with the security grill, because the possum can just walk straight through the bars. It's not going to keep a possum out of his room. Usually, what keeps a possum out is it has no want to come inside. And we did have rain pretty much for the last 2 weeks. We've had a lot of rain, and I think the possum just got hungry, and you know it was raining at the time. So it had just woken up, and it was like, oh, I don't want to go out into this rain. And it was like walking along, it was like, oh, I can smell some food. And it's like, oh, I don't have to go out in the rain. So I think that's what it was thinking. It was funny. Yes. MJG says, I hope you can film it one day. Absolutely. Yeah. I do want to do that. I want to in a humane way just set my camera up, my phone camera that can stream at its, and get it coming into its home at night, in the morning, at the end of the night, and maybe have an apple there that it can eat a bit of the apple or something like that. MJG says they think we go to visit Luke. Luke, warm and nice room. Yes, that's it. That's exactly it. Because it was still dry, like it was raining pretty heavy, and this possum had no water on it, so it's literally woken up, and it was like hadn't been out in the rain yet. And then after it sort of ran off, poor thing had to go out in the rain. But I mean, they're possums; they get used to that. But they do that. They hibernate for a few days when it rains heavy. Then they sort of stay away from it. So that's it. Nice warm room. So yeah, it is. It's good. Besides, we're having to wear a beanie now most of the time. Not all the time, but it's already getting that cold, and so beanie weather is fast approaching, and so yeah, I've been meaning to learn how to crochet so I can make my own beanies, and that's something to do this year. I've got a friend who's going to teach me how to crochet. Looking forward to that, and yeah, I can't wait. I've got a box full of like yarn ready to go. It was I inherited from mum, so I can't wait to I don't have to go and buy any yarn. I've just got to get some needles, crochet needles. So that's cool. And no hurry with that. Like I've still got beanies, but it'd be a great skill for me to learn. If I can make my own beanies, I can save up. We have in Australia, it's a beanie festival in Alice Springs in the center of Australia. And actually, my friend's mother, 80, she founded it. Her and other people, but she was one of the main founders, and it's about to start. Um, so I don't know if they've got an Instagram. I'm sure they got an Instagram, but they're on Facebook, and it's like the Alice Springs Beanie Festival. They get beanies sent to them from all around the world. So she started this with like the indigenous women making beanies because it's so cold there in the desert. At nighttime it gets freezing, and so she started this festival with them, and so they made their own beanies and they decorated them and they put on this festival, and it's just grown and grown and grown. And I think it's been going for 20 years or something now. Last year they got over 5,000 beanies sent there, and they auction them off. So they auction them off, and I think they donate a lot of the money. They might use some of the money to help pay for it, but most of the money gets, I don't know where it goes, but I'm pretty sure it gets donated. And then at the end of it, they still sell, like when you enter your beanie, you don't expect to get it back. You hope that it gets sold at the auction or the sale, and that money goes and gets given to a good cause. So if you're ever interested, if you ever in Australia and you want to go to Alice Springs, now's probably the best time to go. And it's also when the Beanie Festival's on. So look it up. It's pretty cool, hey, for someone like me who wears beanies all through winter. I've never been there. So one day I'd love to go. And even just to like somehow auction to get some, because there's some of the best beanies. Like people get right into it. And like, I like the plain sort of beanies. They get real artistic. Like they make sculptured beanies so that like it looks like an animal you're wearing on your head. Or a bird's nest, or all different stuff. Like it could be a landscape scene with the moon and the sun and clouds. People go really, it's real artistic stuff, but they're functional. All the beanies, you got to be able to wear them. It's awesome. It's a really cool festival, and it's just grown and grown, and yeah. That just reminded me because it's coming up to the time when the festival's on. I could look it up right now, but it's just I've just given you the idea to look it up if you're interested. Alice Springs Beanie Festival. It's really cool, and it's a good community. Sort of just real calm sort of festival. It's not like too massive or anything like that. And yeah. So yeah, I am looking forward to this week now. Like now that I've actually getting back to doing things again, and yeah, and doing these streams too. So today I did the chess match, and now I'm doing this. So like, this is awesome. It's such a good thing, and I want to somehow. I know everyone likes to just to chat in the chat, but if anyone would like to join, I am going to try and do these interviews, which I've talked to people about, and people are interested in doing. So I want to do interviews, and talk to people about what they do for healing, and if they want to open up about what they've been through and how they've persevered through it. But I do feel sort of strange sometimes just being the one person here talking, and which is nice in some ways, but it's also because we're still communicating with the chat. Like everyone's still here, part of it. And anytime they feel like saying something that they can, and if they want to just, but still be here, but you don't have to just be, like, I don't know. My big thing is about people feeling comfortable, but I just keep thinking of how I can, give people the option to, talk talk about things themselves, in a safe way where they don't like. I don't know. Some people don't like. Uh, you don't have to be on camera if you don't want to, and that's the option too with the idea for the interviews. If someone doesn't want to be on camera, they don't have to be. But it's be nice to hear their voice, and it is nice when I do communicate with all you people, when I do get to chat with you off stream. It's awesome, and I want to try and do that more. So that's still on the cards. It's just I've given myself so many things to do that it has made it difficult to really get back into the momentum. But I can look back over the last month or so and be happy with what I've achieved. So it's going to be good moving forward. So yeah, this coming week now is week 2 of the 3-month 100-day challenge, and just going to increase a bit more and add in a couple more things that I didn't have in the first week, and yeah, it's going to be good. So, yeah, don't really know what to say, except like it's really good to just that, not giving myself too much to try and do in this last week, and then still achieving little bits of several things. It's really great. So I just got to keep with that, and yeah, if anyone didn't see the chess match, or if anyone did see the chess match, or is interested, I will try and do that once a week or once every 2 weeks or something like that. And I had so much fun. So, I think it's going to be cool to do that again. And it really does work with chess. There's not many games you can do that with. So, yeah, it's going to be good. So, and we had the full moon last night for Easter or Passover, or however it, well, full moon. It was awesome. And except it was raining and couldn't see the full moon, but I knew it was there on the other side of the clouds. And then late last night, the clouds parted enough, and I was walking upstairs, and it was like the sky lit up from being dark all night and raining, and then the moonlight was so bright, it was reflecting off the palm, like they're like banana sort of palms we got just next door, and it's like they were so bright. It was like someone had shined a spotlight on the plant, on the top of the plant. It was like so bright, and I was just like, wow, that's really powerful when the moon's full, and it's like the light was all channeled, and it so I missed out on the full moon, but I still got to see the full moon, and I watched it for a minute or two, and that was awesome. Awesome, we got the winner here, Basic Glitch. Awesome. So Basic Glitch is the inaugural chess master. Absolutely. Basic Glitch says, "Hi, how are you?" I'm awesome. I'm actually pretty tired when I think about it, because I've been up. I didn't get much sleep last night. I got maybe half an hour to an hour because I was up all night, and then I had to make sure I was there because I'd lined up this chess match with Basic Glitch, and she's in Czechia, so I couldn't, like, one especially, I couldn't let it down, because I was like, I'd like contacted yesterday and said, "Oh, you still want to do this game of chess?" And it's like, me having difficulties with communication, I didn't message a few days earlier. I messaged like only a few hours earlier, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm busy now, like later and stuff." And it's like, "We'll see how I go." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool. I'll try for later, and we'll keep." And then I just ended up being up all night, which was great. I enjoyed being awake. And then once we started the chess match, like, I had a strong coffee beforehand, so I was woken up by that. But I was sharp and focused for the match, but it wasn't enough for me to be focused enough to win. Anyway, I got beaten. I had such a fun it was a 4.5 hour chess match. And it was so much fun, and it was really gentle. Like, we were even the whole way. I mean, there was times where I was behind by a piece, and there was other times where I was ahead by a piece. It was so much fun. Basic Glitch says, that's a bit rough. I'm sorry for no, not at all. No complications on your behalf. You got nothing to be sorry about at all. No, you're more than accommodating, and no. Sorry if I came across like that. Don't feel. Yeah, please. Like, it was awesome. I was more pointing out, like, I felt bad because I didn't communicate until like the last minute for you, and I'm so grateful that you were able to be there for it, and we had such an awesome. It was like 4.5 hours, intense. It was intense, and like even right up to the end, like if Basic Glitch had made one or two errors towards the end, there was a chance I could have got there with the checkmate, but no. She had it sorted. She got me cornered, and it was all over. And I could see it at the end. Those last few moves, I was like, "This is it. I can't get out of this." And I was like, "Oh, it's gonna." And I was like, I was just felt so happy for Basic Glitch to win, because it was well deserved. It's really good match, and we both had a very similar style where we weren't. Both of us were sort of occasionally, getting, on the offense, but then we'd like pull back, and then we'd be all defensive, and we're, it's such a, there's a lot of there's I don't know how to with chess. It's like you get it. It's not like cards where you get chance with the cards turning up. Like, each move that someone makes in a chess game is a direct it's their it's their move, it's their thoughts and their strategies, and so especially in that respect too, like, such a great win for Basic Glitch. And look, don't forget, Basic Glitch, if you want to continue this again, we can have another match sometime. Or I was trying to think how I could actually set it up where two other people could have a game of chess. But I can't do it unless I got two cameras that are running at the same time. And I know YouTube used to do that, where you could have two cameras both streaming, and you could click between the two cameras. That would be cool. And then, so you just have the chessboard and the two cameras. And we had the best fun. Basic Glitch was like, "Oh yeah, we're beta testers," like it was a video game, because we're testing it out. And so we were joking for ages about, like, "Oh yeah, we were pretending it was like a video game," and because it looked just like one of those 3D chess video games that you play, and it was fun. And yeah, good fun. I have to do it again. So also, oh yeah, basically says, "No, you didn't cross like that. Don't worry. I'm just apologizing for your trouble. I don't know. You're cool. Don't worry. Yeah. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. No, I have a thing where I sort of over worry too, but like, I I get I do get self-conscious about stuff, and I just need to not worry about stuff. I had such a fun day, you know. Yeah. Basic Glitch says definitely. Yeah, no, that's it. We'll have to we'll have to do it again. And so much fun. And you're a reigning champion now, so if we can set up the 2 camera thing, you can play against someone else, or if you want, we can have a rematch, and just yeah, thoroughly enjoyed. I mean, that's half of my big smile on my face now is that. So it's really good. And I've got hey Glitch, I've got the bandage off my ankle. I don't know if you can see. You can probably see there the bruising and the swollen. So it's all swollen and the bruise there. And then all up the foot here. So yeah, it's swollen and bruised. You can really see the bruise there. Yeah, but see, look, I can do that. But if I did that and sort of moved it too much, I'd be screaming in pain. So I was wearing shoes. I just was rushing. I was silly. I do have some ankle high hiking boots, so I'm going to try and wear them more often. I sort of hold off on wearing them for like only go when I go on a big hike or something, and I hardly ever do that. And I'm trying to get into doing that more often, but I should just wear them whenever I go to the bush. That's what they're there for, to use and to wear. So basically, Glitch says, "Ooh, that," but at least that the bandage is gone. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't think I really need to wear the bandage anymore. I can walk. I took the bins down before, and I was able to walk reasonably fast as long as I was careful. So that was another level of confidence. As long as the ground is no bumpiness, I still take a lot of care going up and down stairs. We take, oh well, I take stuff. When I say we, I mean like everyone sort of does in a way. But I I take it for granted having mobility, and then it makes me think about people who can't, and it gives me more appreciation and makes me feel more obliged to take care and also respect the ability to do that, and yeah, it is really quite when you think about like how much energy we spend just remaining upright when we walk, and balancing, and we're all like, it's when you like it's we walk so well, we run, we jump, we jog, all that stuff, or we stroll, we walk gently. But as soon as we tumble, it hurts, and you realize how sort of how much energy it takes to just safely walk. So I've got a newfound appreciation for that. So, but like I don't know. It's been nice having this stream and having a chat and everyone engaging and having a chat with each other. But I probably will end the stream soon just because I haven't eaten dinner yet, and it's I am starting to not be able to, like when you're tired and you can't. Like I hope I am. It's good to listen to me. Like I do get self-conscious again if I'm a little bit tired and I feel like I'm, I have a tendency to like jump from topic to topic to topic, you know, and I do that, and it's all right. Everyone appreciates that, and I do try and stick to one topic for long enough to make, you know, and sometimes I'll come back to that to finish things up, but you know, maybe tonight I probably will end the stream a little bit earlier, but like I look forward to maybe next week having a good decent stream. I'll have some more stuff to talk about me, but I might have some interesting stuff that I've done research on now that I'm getting back into reading and that. Because yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to for next week. So, you know, if anyone wants to have a chess match, put in the comments here or in the comments of the chess match video, which is the one before this one, and we'll try and organize it sometime. But sorry to cut this short this week, you know, but again, much love to everyone. Appreciate you all. And, you know, I look forward to like doing some more creative stuff with you all and making stuff, doing stuff. And, you know, things are just going to get better and better over time for us all, you know. So, yeah. I hope everyone has an awesome week, you know, really, really do. And like, let me know how your week's going as well. And yeah, much love to everyone. Hey.